There we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Yes, I'm back in my room again. Hope that you all can hear me nice, loud and clear. Thank you for joining again for another session of the Hik-League. So if you're unfamiliar with who I am, my name is Eben. I'm from Hik-Vision, and I'm here to tell you a story. So the story goes like this. Video intercom. Pretty basic. So we're going to get into it. I don't know if you guys can see the camera there a little bit and my monitor in front and the reflection, but anyway, so video intercom, we got some buttons you can push as well, network stuff at the back, and we're obviously going to highlight quite a bit of that a little bit later on. So let's get started into this. Okay. Yeah. So video intercom, first of all, we want to focus on a bit, and now my little remote is not working. Oh, that's nice. Let's try this. Will that work? Oh, PPT, please don't crash on me today. There we go. All right, let's see. So we're going to get started into the IP solution. I've got my monitor on top, so I'm not always looking at you guys. But as long as you focus on the material, it's the most important thing, and not me. The only reason why the camera is on is to make it a bit more personal. Hi. Anyway, we're going to look at the 4-wire system, a little bit more accessories and whatever is coming soon. So just a breakdown of the product family for the video intercom itself and the stuff that we are focusing on at the moment. Some of them are IP. So that's going to be your main station, your door stations, your indoor stations and stuff like that. So we're going to be focusing on that also a little bit, the different categories. I'm not going to highlight all of them. And then also the 4-wire kits itself, what the difference is between the HD, the hybrid, and as well as the analog side, and a little bit of the SIP phones. I think very soon. Last year, I think I announced that they are coming. We obviously do have them. We got some demo samples and everything else. We also started focusing on what else we can do with our SIP phones and how far we can push that limit. We're in that process. Received mine, really playing well with it. So we'll get into that a bit more later on. But let's look at the solution by function, how we can use these. So for normal villa, yes, for those of you that live in a normal house or apartment, there are people that got big houses with 2 to 3 floors. They are the ones with the money. Joking. Right. So when it comes to that, we can use certain models for like the value series itself, the villa models. We can use standalone, as you can see in the picture on the left-hand side of the monitor. I think it's left-hand side. You can see how they can be used just as the standalone. You can connect your Hik-Connect app to it. So once someone rings it, it will show you a video and obviously also focus on you communicating to that person. Then we have an IP solution as well. Whether it's analog or 2-wire, we also have that solution for you. Again, having the door station, someone can press it, it will dial inside to a video indoor station itself. That makes it very comfortable for you to be able to answer it and tell whoever that is by the door that you can come in, or I'm not available at the moment. But you answered. I know, but I'm not available at the moment. But anyway, and then we can go bigger. We can go for apartment solutions, especially IP or 2-wire. I'm not going to hammer too much on the 2-wire side. It's very big. Most of us are using IP, but to know that there is availability for 2-wire, that makes it so much better. And I always try and explain to people, if you have the capability of running cables, run network cables. If you have an infrastructure that has existing cables already there, and you don't have a choice and it might be 2-wire or 4-wire, then at least you have a solution if you cannot replace the cables. If you can, my recommendation is go IP. But yeah, we can have multiple different main door stations or other door stations itself. As you can see, we can have the app connected to it. It will dial inside and etc. So it's pretty basic when it comes to video intercom, right? So we got quite a bit of products that are available, new products that we are focusing, update versions, etc., making it a lot easier for you guys to use. just to break down a little bit as a solution, maybe for that apartment, as you can see, we can have a door station itself. That will be this one over here. Where's my little laser? Laser. There we go. That will be this one over here. That is a door station itself that allows you to press the number of the room or the apartment or the floor that you would like to speak to tell them, I'm here for the house party while your parents are away. And me looking at my kids. I know it all. Cameras don't lie, by the way. Anyway, so you can have that monitoring to a call center or to a master station for security room or whatever the case might be. You can add in your cameras as well so they can view it. This can go through your network, through PoE, power up those indoor stations. I've got one here laying. Just highlight that a little bit. This is a big one itself. That is the Android model. Very nice. But anyway, you can have it dialing into that apartment, obviously, and that apartment can then answer and then open up the door or grant them access. It will also dial through to your mobile phone, making it easier. Right. So when it comes to the configuration, we have that new easy UI program itself that's on that for that easy wizard. I'm not going to highlight the majority of the details. Please take note that some of these products can be used for access control as well. There is a solution where you can select which door, which floor, and etc. So we can also expand that. But when it comes to that Wizard 2.0 for that new face up for communication, while that interactive, while you set it up and install, we have that process of where you need to activate the device, select the network, select what type of network, the time and date, whichever phone that you want to call through, which floor, how you can add those devices without having to use a PC, doing it on the device itself. This makes it easier for you then to communicate to those different areas, and it's very easy, straightforward setup. Right, moving on. There we go. So for majority of the indoor stations, we've got quite a bit. I'm just highlighting some of the new ones, the ones with the update firmware with the B bracket behind it. So as you can see, we have the 9 series that's over here. The 9 series itself is designed with Android application inside it itself. It's got the system integration of Android. It's the back end of it. We can add 2 mobile apps onto that device itself. I've tested this multiple times. If you're not sure with that, please check our previous videos that we've done for this. I've installed Uber Eats. You can have Mr. D on it, your solar system app. You can have your water irrigation system app. So there's quite a bit that you can do. No, you cannot have Angry Birds on it. It's too big, right? You are limited to 100 megs per file itself, and you can only add 2. It can handle a total of 3 if you do uninstall the Hik-League app on it. I would not recommend that, but there are facilities to be able to do that. Then you have a 10-inch model, you have a 7-inch model, so it all depends on what your application is, what you would like to use it, and it has the Hik-League app built into it, which means that any of your devices on the Hik-League app can be installed on this, right? So it makes it a lot easier to be able to view all your Hikvision equipment, just like your mobile phone. Then we also have the 8 series. We also have the 6 series. So it depends on which model that you would like to go for. So they all have very functionalities, very similar, but some of them are Linux instead of Android, right? Then we have our door stations itself. We've got multiple different models. Again, we got the 9 series on the door stations itself, not the indoor stations, the door station itself. So with those models itself, it can detect your face, finger, card, or PIN. So it all depends on what your application is. It is an all-in-one station, and it can handle up to 500 indoor stations. So it can dial through to 500 indoor stations, which is quite a lot. Then we have the 8 series itself, also very similar. It doesn't have the face and the fingers, but it does have, however, PIN and password as well as card. So it all depends on your application. Then we have the 8 series, which is the models itself for modules. So you can add different type of modules, and I'll highlight that a little bit later, how you can puzzle them all together. We also have the 8 series in the Bella side itself for the door station. So you can have the one apartment, maybe one house, maybe a house and granny flat, maybe like four houses on one property, making it easy. And then we also have that 6 series, like we mentioned earlier, but the new C series. All right. So that is the capability of what we can do. Some of them allows like triggers, like 1 door, 2 door, or 4 doors. So it also depends on what your triggers are on specific models. Right. Let's have a look. So for that module door stations itself, that family itself, first of all, we need a main station. That would be this one over here. You need a main station in order for this to work. We have a E1, which is PoE powered, and we also have the E2 model, which is 2 wires, right? So there's options if you would like to. Majority of them have similar different type of modules, that sub-modules itself. We can use maybe the key, like the ones that you write the name of the person, so you can press the button. You got different ones where you can answer, maybe send a message, whatever the case is, blank ones, information page. You got maybe display module itself. You got a card reader, keypad, maybe a touch tag reader itself built onto that. So, and then different type of framing and brackets that you get for these devices. They are IK9 rating, so they can handle a bit of a punch. And for the people in Bloemfontein, no, stop it. They are not bulletproof. IK rating does not mean it's bulletproof. Hey, people in Bloemfontein. Anyway, so stainless steel, so it won't rust, so it's very easy. Like I mentioned, it's like a puzzle, so those modules need to be puzzled up according to what your application is. They are powered by PoE. There is internet communication as well with some of these devices. 2 megapixels in the camera built in, and it's a wide angle fisheye. And not just that, it's got WDR built into it. So if you do install it into an inside of the building where maybe people get to a lift, so they get into that foyer or that courtyard area, and you don't want that backlight to create problems, it does have WDR built into it. Right, making it easy. I think enough is enough. You can see there are different sizes that you can go for. Right, then it gets to your SIP phones. So like I said, they are at the moment on their way. So we do have quite a bit here that we are using to test with. We also have our own software that we will be releasing very soon. You can use it with third party. I've tested this quite decently. There's quite a bit that we can do. I'm not going to give all the information around about the Android model that we have here. It has a built-in camera, but don't tell people. It has different type of options, loudspeaker, etc. There's so much that you can do with this model. It's got the Android 9 version in it. And then obviously we also have different models from there. These models have the capability of having video and audio besides the bottom one, which is just a basic digital display itself. And they have different type of brackets for them to stand up. Some of them are wall mounted, some of them are table stands. It all depends on your application, what you would like to do, right? Very nice design, very easy to use, and very similar to what is out there on the SIP market industry. Enough is enough. Right, 4-wire system is available as well. You get them in the kit. I've actually got a kit here behind me, standing there. There we go, a little kit. So it all depends on whatever kit you're going for. My one is a little bit different, but also that indoor station is very similar. You also have those buttons there, as you can see. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe the picture's not that small again, hopefully. Anyway, so when it comes to 4-wire, you can have that 4-wire communication. That is from your master station, powering it up with its own power source, sending those 4 little wires towards your door station. Your door station has the capability of obviously triggering a striker lock, gate motor, a mag lock. It all depends on as long as you provide your own power for that equipment, right? You can have your mobile app connected to it. So again, if someone presses your button at the gate, you can also have it ringing inside or to your mobile phone, or both at the same time. All right. Then we also, for some of the sales guys that are out there, please take note that we do have traveling kits for sales guys. different type of brackets to showcase different type of stands. So you can take this with, show your client and explain to them how that looks like and how you can use this. So if you are familiar with that, please have a look at that. Speak to your Hik-Vision representative and you can select which option you would like to go for. Regarding that bracket, I know some of you would have gone and say, bracket, show us the bracket. I don't have the bracket with me. However, I have installed 2 of those brackets in our showroom, which is pretty nice. So if you have maybe a gated area and you get to the boom gate and you get to that gooseneck, that you normally have to press and look at, you can actually have that 30-degree angle brackets mounted to that so that the actual device, the facial terminal, right, as you can see, or the door station, can basically be faced at an angle, like, a slight angle looking at it. So making it easier for you to be able to identify your face. So you don't have to go like, yeah, all right. As long as you guys get the idea behind this. Also, if you have certain areas where you don't have a choice, it needs to be installed by a door area, and that door doesn't have a lot of gap and space for you to actually put it. So you can put that bracket into the corner, which allows you to put that terminal facing towards the people looking at the door, which is just brilliant. All right. So it all depends on your application. As long as you know that it is available, there's the model number. Speak to your Hik-Vision representative and ask them for that bracket. Then also for the 6 series, we do also have table stands itself. Those are stands that you can use at receptions. There's also wall bracket mounts as well as normal, but you also get that stand, like I said, for that indoor station that you can use. Right, moving on. Upgrading and new features, new products itself. We also have new doorbells. This is a 2 series model. These models have 4 wires, easy to use, communication. You can see the actual video footage of that doorbell itself on the indoor station. It is a 2 megapixel, high resolution, so very good quality, makes it easy for you to use. You can communicate to 3 different indoor stations itself. There's a lot that you can do with this. So keep your eye out for this. It's coming soon. Right. Then some little features of our alarm side. Remember, we're still busy with that non-CCTV stuff. So, all right, letting you know. So for the Heat Pro, just giving you a few little guidance there. The the AX Pro, my apologies, the AX Hybrid Pro, and then obviously the software side. So let's get into it. So for the AX Pro itself series, we've got quite a bit. So please have a look. We've got different type of panels, big, small. To have a look, different type of zones available. We've got different type of detectors, normal, turret, as well as our 180 ones with the dual camera that you can put up, that you can clip in. Different type of door mags, repeaters. We have our different methods of arming the device. That will be keypad with LED or without LED, tag reader, key fob. Key fob, if you don't know, that's your remote control itself. Panic buttons, different type. We have indoor sirens as well as a new, how can I say, Intercom indoor siren that can be used for alarm companies. I'll get to that in a little bit. They're pretty cool, by the way. We also have different outdoor sirens as well. We got PIRs with glass break detectors built in, glass break detectors, shock sensors, etc. We got our humidity and temperature sensors. They're also wireless and can be thrown into any environment, or not any environment. Please don't throw them in your stove and check the temp. No, really. We mean like normal room environments or whatever the case is. Water leak detector, 2 functionalities there. One is thrown in the cupboard. If there's a leak, it will let you know. Second one is the cable connection that's on that water leak detector. You can put it into environments. So let's say you got maybe a fish pond, or maybe you have a big JoJo tank. You can make a hole, put that cable in, seal it up, obviously nice so it doesn't leak. But then you can have, as soon as the water level drops below that environment, it will obviously send you a warning telling you that the water level is low and you need to go and have a look. So water leak detection with 2 detection methods. Then we have smoke detectors, heat detectors, CO2. So a lot of us are are using gas now for cooking at nighttime. I use a lot of gassing. Oh, my soul. Sorry, this is live. This does happen. I use a lot of gas for cooking. Oh, my soul. I can hear all those jokes about gas, but anyway, I let a little one go out. But anyway, so when it comes to that CO2 detection itself, that CO detection, the nice thing is most of us are using gas now for cooking because of load shedding. We all are familiar with how that works. The load shedding schedule that is due to the fact of Uncle Cyril playing the Monopoly game called the load shedding. So when it comes to that, we all sit in that boat. We're all dealing with that. We're waiting for Eskom to resolve our problems, as you can see on the news. So hopefully very soon we'll have solutions. But sometimes we forget the gas on. This is a pro thing to have. All right. And then we also have that automation side for the relays. We have different type of relays, different type of wall switches, smart plugs to be able to use. You can switch on and open up, do whatever you would like to. And then also we have expansion modules or input zones itself. So it depends on what your application is. It will take the zone or that information and send it wirelessly towards the panel. And for some of you that don't have additional modules, we do have 12-volt power supply modules for your panels for maybe a solar system, or if you don't want that power dip because of AC, maybe you have a solar system at your house, you can also use that. All right, moving on, our second part. So just to quickly highlight the panel, there are multiple different panels from the L model to the M models, different type of zones, different applications that you can use. These can communicate through either Wi-Fi, LAN cable, GPRS, 3G, 4G. It all depends on your network, or serial port if you have an ART radio company that uses serial cables on their radios. You also have that capability. It is the EN grade 2 approval. We are using 868 megahertz frequencies on these devices. That makes it a lot easier to not have a lot of interference. I am allowed to tell you that we have a new frequency coming out that we will be using on our alarm systems to remove or to stay away also from 868, seeing that the industry is really using that quite often and it's getting very popular. All right, enough said about that. I think we've done a lot of the alarm videos in the past. Just a reminder that you can use the Hik-Vision IP cameras to your alarm panel for communication to be able to trigger as a zone. And you can also use third-party ones. You have 4 of them that you can add in, and it will give you a 7-second little video clip that you can obviously see what has happened there. You have that capability. Just to highlight the fact that we can also use the Heat Pro cameras and AccuSense in order to get that notification. I'm not going to play this video. This is a video itself to highlight how the connections work and etc. Please have a look at our online material. You'll find it there. All right, moving on from there, like I said, also different type of keypads. Again, there is a video explaining to you how to use that keypad, how to arm certain areas with the LCD keypad, as well as the LED keypad. There are different methods that you can use to be able to show you that there's a burglary and how to disarm these devices. I'm not going to play the videos because, again, we all know how that works on the videos. It corrupts our PPT, and then we sit here in the dark. And I don't want to waste too much of your time. And I can see the time period. Just to let you know, we also have those repeaters. The repeater can communicate from the panel to the repeater 1,600 meters away. That's 1.6 kilometers. That's quite a distance. That's in an open field environment, perfect environment. So please take note that when you have a steel structure or any other building complications, that can actually reduce your communication from the panel to the repeater. But just to know that the distance is there is quite helpful. My recommendation is take a panel, take a repeater, and test for yourself for your own environment, for your clients, and make your own assumptions according to the product. All right, I'm not going to just tell you guys how pretty some of the products are. I'm more going to focus on the fact that it is out there. You have the communication for the CAM-X as well for those devices to communicate up to 800 meters. You have the capability of adding 4 repeaters to those devices, or to this repeater itself. So which means on your panel, you can have a repeater, another one, and another one. So that's quite a distance that you can repeat that signal, and you don't have to have any issues. These devices have their own built-in backup battery. Yes, they do. They have their own built-in backup battery that lasts up to 35 hours, okay? Seeing that there's no other wires connected to it, that's the reason why it can last so long. It's got a lithium-ion battery built inside it, so you don't need a backup power supply for our expanders wireless. Cool. So just to highlight some of those products for the naming rule to give you an idea, if you are interested, there is a new version on the LED. There's also a new LCD that's very popular. We have the smart plug itself. The smart plug gives you the capability of taking any two-point plug, plug it into that one, and that plugs into another 2-point plug, by the way. So plug it in. This gives you the capability of turning on or turning off anything quickly from your phone remotely wherever you are. I've always asked people what you would like to use this for, so it all depends on you. Remember, we do have the relay, so we can connect it to lights. So you don't need that plug for lights. We can also connect our relays to maybe swimming pools, air cons, heaters, whatever your capability is that you would like to use it for. So normally when I ask people, what would you use that for? Some people will say maybe for coffee machine. You know, it's a possibility. But again, now putting water in and then switching it on and leaving it there and then leaving the house switching, you know, there are complications sometimes. But hair straightener for the ladies out there. My wife is going to ask me about this one. Yes, you can use it. So if you have date night and your wife uses a hair straightener, you can warm it up before she gets home. So, you know, do the hair straightening and then you go for date night. Sorry, honey bunny. All the secrets are out now. Your key fobs, your sirens, like I said, and then, like I said, that wireless intercom sounder itself. This is for a control room base itself. It allows the control room to be able to talk from their control room to this device, asking the client, are you okay? Is everything fine? Etc. Having that communication from your control, which is just brilliant. All right. Enough about that. And yes, later on, we'll highlight that a bit more in time to come, as soon as we get samples to be able to highlight the technical side. Just a breakdown of those wireless devices. There's quite a bit, like I said, your normal PIRs with that, that creep zone detection, the different measurements that it can handle for certain areas or distance that it can communicate. It also has its built-in battery that can last up to 5 years, depends on how many times it gets triggered. It shows you there, trigger up to 20 times per day. That's 5-year lifespan, which is brilliant. A lot of the other equipment is even longer, like you can see 6 years on this one. My mouse is very slow on this PPT, which means it might crash on me. So let's just keep it there. You got that dual detection where there's 2 PIRs built into one sensor. You also have the ones with the built-in PIR and microwave. So it all depends on what your category is that you would like to focus on. Okay. So for those special detection itself, for those certain areas itself that you would like to, we've got the cam, the PIR cam itself. We've got that dual PIR detection, and we have that panoramic outdoor detector that's got a 180-degree field of view. All right, just a breakdown on those devices. As you can see, dual detection itself on there, 2 PIRs, 18 meters itself coverage at a 90-degree or 180, depends on which model you are going for. It is IP rated, so it's designed for outdoor use. It has also that PET immune built into it, up to 24 kgs. The communication language is there for the different frequencies, as well as that battery has a 5-year lifespan on it for 20 triggers per day. Right, that's quite a lot of triggers. And then also there is available for different brackets, so that if you need to maybe high mount it or low mount, you can do that. All right. Inside it has that 2 batteries with a tamper. You can set it up for low or high mount installation. There's a little bit of a video that I'm going to indicate to you guys now for the outdoor detectors. Alrighty then, and no, that was not me singing in the background. All right, so yes, I know there's a swimming pool. Some of the guys are going to say, oh, that thing is going to false alarm. Again, this is just try as a nice little picture, nice environment, just to explain how that functionality works. We all obviously do understand that you can't face towards a swimming pool area because of the reflection of the sun into the sensors, and it might cause false alarms. Yes, we are aware of that. It's just a little technical video, so please don't hold us accountable. Anyway, so yes, sorry, someone is saying there, from the marketing department, there's a possibility that there's a bug in here. Okay, from the marketing department itself for the video for marketing reasons, remember that those guys that are doing these animation videos don't obviously have the understanding about what causes false alarms and what don't. So thank you. Anyway, so we got that 180-degree detector as well. So allowing you to use that quad PIR that's built into it. And you can have also the camera, not the camera, but the cams built onto it on the top. So it slides in, locks into place, the top and the bottom. So it all depends on what you want. You can either have just the bottom or just the top or both, whatever. Or maybe you can go for the one without any of them. Up to 40 kgs, a PET immune, also 5-year battery, IP rated outside. It's got quite a distance that it can cover, up to 15 meters at 180 degrees. So very nice device. Just a breakdown on some of the door contacts. Again, you have different types. You also have the sexy slim one here that I kind of like the most. It's very modern design. 3-year battery life on it, or some of the bigger ones where there's a 5-year battery life on that itself, up to 20 triggers per day. And also the nice thing is you have 2 channels onboard input on this specific model. So this allows us to have that for maybe outdoor detectors, wirelessly third party, or we can use it for any other, maybe roller shutters. Maybe you want to have 2 roller shutters on one door. You can have that wirelessly transmitted to your panel by using the 2 channels, which is pretty great, right? Some of these have shock detectors built into them. Yes, so the door contact has shock detection built into it. Brilliant. Okay, moving on. So our second part is just to highlight the AX Hybrid Pro model. That's the wired with the wireless. I would like to focus on the new fact, and I will a little bit later, is that new panels itself. We got metal casing panels for helping you with that vandal environment. So people trying to break into the panels, a little bit harder products. Our wired door contacts. So yes, we do have wired door contacts. Our wired PIRs, outdoor detectors as well. The cam, the keypad, the siren, as well as our wireless receiver. These receivers allow us to use on the AX Hybrid model, the AX Hybrid Pro, allows us to be able to add any of the AX Pro wireless detectors to be added onto this device and communicate back to the panel widely. We also have that output as well and input expanders. So it all depends on if you want to expand to more zones or expand to more output triggers itself. Maybe you want additional sirens somewhere very far away. All right, glass break detectors, as I mentioned, so there are different type of panic buttons. There are different type of panic buttons, ones with a key. So just to let you know, can I zoom into that panic button? Those panic buttons are pretty cool. I know it's a little bit blurry, but I hope you can see the idea with the one with the red button, right? Where's my laser now? Can I use a laser while it's zoomed in? Maybe. No, I can't. But anyway, that panic button over there has the capability with a key for the manager. So if you have a client that has a lot of false panics, and some of the guys will install all those panic buttons on one zone, and now you have to go fault find which one it is that they by accidentally are pressing the whole time. This allows you to use a big panic button with a press in button, and in order to release it, you need the key. Brilliant. We also have panic buttons that are for till areas, shock sensors, smoke detectors, and different type of modules for the GSM communication. Right. Then for the rest of them, just to show you about the panels itself, there are different models that are available. Some of them have bigger casings. They are coming soon. Like I said, they are metal casings. They are specially designed. The holes are designed there to drill and mount them on the outside with roll bolts or on the inside, depends on your application, as long as you know that you have the capability of that. It's got that SpeedX bus line communication for some of you that are familiar with bus line communication, up to 2 channels or 4 channels, depends on the model, to be able to add cameras or third-party cameras. For that SpeedX communication, we can expand this from the wired device up to 7 times. Coffee. We can communicate. The furthest distance that we can do is up to 5.4 kilometers for that bus line. More than 5 kilometers. Yo, that's far, eh? That's really far. But anyway, so for the communication, for that high-speed communication itself, is 500 kilobits per second. That's the maximum communication for those devices. So pretty cool. If you wanted to know which each device are communicating between one another, it's 900 meters. Just to highlight a few of the wired side of things, we have that keypad that we have mentioned before in the previous training videos for wired LED and LCD as well. We also have input expanders, output expanders, like I explained, so which is pretty nice. We also have that wireless receiver and also wired sirens with strobe lights built in at 105 dBs. That's pretty loud. If you wanted to know how we can compare that, take 105 dBs and compare it to your normal 15-watt siren. Basically the same. And then also the GSM modules or power supply modules that are also available on these devices. Just to highlight some of the few features. For the wired side, very similar to the wireless, like I said, for that dual detection, that PET immune up to 24 kgs, also has the bracket allowing you for low or high mount installations. For the keypad, the video is playing there for the configurations. Please look at that in your own time. There's quite a bit that we can do. It has the support structure. See what happens to the video. Go green and everything. The support structure for that that's the video, for the 3EOL communication. So this means that you can use our alarm panel with our keypad and select what zone resistor it needs to work under. So if your infrastructure has existing PIRs from a third-party company, and whether it's a T100 or whatever model type of, a T1000 or whatever the case is, model of PIR, and they use maybe a 3K3 or a 2K2 resistor or 1K1 resistor or 1K resistor, whatever the case is, you can go and select what type of resistor it is in order for you to use that through the communication. Right, perfect. Then part 2 for that wireless devices, that wired devices. We have multiple different PIRs that are available. We have dual detection, 360 PIRs. PIRs were built in cam as well, so you can actually use a cam shot itself, and also outdoor detectors, as I mentioned. For the third part, for the software side, we have that contact ID communication. Yes, we also have ISAP as well for communication to these devices. So you can set up the ISAP on the device to your server for Hik Central, or whichever way you would like to use that communication. If you are using a third-party radio for communicating through serial, we also have a plugin tool under IP for that radio company, whichever company that is, right, for radio transmission. If you are unfamiliar, your company is unfamiliar, please contact your Hikvision representative. We will help guide you through that. We also have the P-Store cloud itself, and also that SureGuard, contact ID, and so much more for communication on certain ARC companies. Cool. Just to quickly break that down, if you are familiar with RDC or FSK, listener or watch manager, whichever case you are using for communication, please take note that we do have that facility in the communication to that third-party companies as software. We work in partnership with them. They are our friends. We really respect what they are doing. So whenever there's anything that you guys are using with our systems, please communicate with us, communicate with them, and we will build that bridge and make sure that you guys get sorted out. Cool. Just to give you a hands down on all those different ARC radio communication companies and software, as you can see, they are there. So please communicate with them in your own time. And that is it. 42. Sure, 42 minutes. Sorry, guys. That was quite a bit to squeeze into one session. I know. So for some of you who'd like to stay behind, please stay behind for the Q&A. For the rest of you that's on YouTube, see you guys next time, and keep well. Take care.